welcome back to Proline. I'm Dave Cokin, joined by Jim Feist, direct from smoking hot Las Vegas. Man, it is warm outside. We're going to look at the 2016 NFC East, the division that seems to rotate champions every year. The last decade, that's been the case. Last year, the Redskins came out on top, a bit of a surprise. 2 years ago, the Cowboys. 3 years ago, the Eagles. Maybe it's the Giants' turn in 2016. But first, let's talk about a couple of specials. My entire NFL preseason. 4 weeks of plays. It's actually 4 weeks plus the Hall of Fame game if I do anything. $10, along with a bonus week of Major League Baseball. This is a terrific offer. Lowest price yet. It's 1 day only, Friday only. I'm going to have plays every day. There are games there in the preseason. I get excellent information. I know where to get it. You can get with me for the entire month of August football, plus a week of baseball, all for only $10. I think this is the best offer I've put together since we started doing Proline again. Call toll-free 1-855-472-2577 and get all that for $10. Jim, your baseball games of the month, combined 13-4 run, including last Friday. You had your interleague game of the year on the Texas Rangers. They beat up the Cardinals. Well, they didn't beat them up, but they got the victory, and that's all that matters. That was as an underdog. NL Central total of the year went last night. A lot of great things. Cardinals and Cubs under. You've been on the pups, you've been on the totals, and you've been getting the money on a regular basis.
I love them all, Dave. If my situational, everything out there is beatable. You got the first quarters, the first five, the totals, team totals, everything. My situational game of the year is available right now. This is big. JimFeist.com. It's $100 online, but you can get it for $10 simply by calling my offices at 866-546-9467. 13-4 with these exclusive releases. Yours at a whopping 90% discount. And it's guaranteed. Win or right through the All-Star break, free on me. Just call 866-546-9467. Hit the pause button right now on your video and call right now.
All right, NFC East, it's been a division of surprises. The Redskins, I think, were the consensus pick to finish last in 2015, and they ended up winning the division. Kirk Cousins improved nicely as the season long. He won that job and is now regarded as a decent quarterback. Maybe not elite level, but upper echelon. The Cowboys, well, they just had so many crucial injuries. They went backwards. The Giants, I think the Tom Coughlin era was at its end, and a lot of things went wrong for them. And the Eagles, to me, were a flop. They were only a flop, though, in the eyes of, I would say, most people who are looking at this stuff from the obvious standpoint. I didn't like the team going in. I didn't like the moves Chip Kelly had made in the offseason. Prior to last year, I think his player personnel moves were crazy. And I think the Eagles finished about where they were supposed to finish based on what they ended up having for a football team. They've got to restructure. I think Kelly kind of put them in a direction where they've got to dig out for the next couple of years.
Totally. They needed a new coach, so they made a new coach. The coach, I wasn't in favor of Chip Kelly coming in. He made some off-season moves, like you mentioned. I thought they were very destructive.
I thought he was a good coach, but a lousy GM.
Well, that's possible, but Dave, he's also a college coach, and they don't always last. And that like Spurrier, and when he came into the pros. Guys like this don't always succeed at this level because you're dealing with a different mentality, obviously a different talent level across the board. Let's talk about the Cowboys. Lots of injuries last year. Prior year, they led the league in rushing. They got rid of DeMarco Murray. That didn't work. Actually, he went to Philadelphia. That didn't work out there either. Now, Cowboys get Romo back. They're going to focus back on the running game, try to protect Romo, which, by the way, is a smart thing to do for everybody. There aren't that many good quarterbacks. Don't get them hurt. The Giants, they were pretty good offensively, but they gave up a ton of points. The Redskins, well, we talked about the Eagles. The Redskins won the division last year. Kirk Cousins did a pretty good job. Dan Snyder got out of the way. He let the football people run the team. They did a lot better. But in many ways, the Redskins won this division by default.
Well, they did, but I think they made one tremendous improvement in the offseason. Josh Norman is a difference maker. This is a big get.
Why did Carolina get rid of him? What happened there?
Well, I mean, I don't think he wanted to leave, but business is business, and the opportunity to get the maximum amount of income from the Redskins was there, and he took it. I think that's a confidence builder for the Redskins, who already have to be feeling good about themselves coming into the season after what they accomplished last year. The Giants are the team that interests me because I think this is fair. I don't think there was a team in football that blew more games due to horrendous clock management and bad decision-making at the end of games than the Giants did. So, you can look at this in two ways. Well, Coughlin's gone, and you can say, well, they've got to be better because Coughlin had just reached the end of the line there. But they stayed within. They brought up McAdoo, who was the offensive coordinator. Now he's the head coach. Wasn't he involved in a lot of the offensive mistakes that were made at the end of halves and end of games last year? So, I'm not trying to crush the guy before he coaches head coaches one game in the NFL, but I don't know. I mean, that's to me, I might have gone outside the organization.
Possibly. We'll find out quickly. I mean, Manning had a pretty good year. Based on the fact they had no running game and they had to score a lot of points just to be in games because they gave up so many points. This league, this division, to me, this division all belongs to the Cowboys this year. They're back healthy. They've got a running game.
They got Elliott.
They got Elliott. They got the offensive line. Romo is back. And Romo, a lot of people fault him, but when you look at what he's done over his career, he's pretty damn good. So I really believe the Cowboys win this division this year. And the Redskins are probably second, and the Eagles are, I think, probably the disaster of the division. Well, I don't see them going anywhere this first year under the new head coach, Doug Peterson. That's pretty well the way I look at it.
What do you think?
But they have a tough schedule too. I mean, it's like, look at the Giants. They play the AFC North, the Steelers, Bengals, and Ravens, and we just talked about that group.
Yeah, the Eagles are really interesting to me, though. I think they're going to have a lot more settled situation. Carson Wentz, his learning curve might not be as steep as the other quarterbacks because he played in a pro-style offense. I think Wentz is going to win that job, although I still like Chase Daniel quite a bit. I don't like Sam Bradford, and I think that's the one thing that really worries me about the Eagles is does the quarterback controversy, and there's already a quarterback controversy there, does that spread throughout the team? It can wreck a team before the season starts. If they can get past that, I think they ought to go Chase Daniel from day one, to tell you the truth, and let Wentz learn a little bit on the sidelines this year. I think this team could move up. I'm not as convinced on the Cowboys as you are. I think there's holes in that team. And, this is the problem when you've got an owner who insists on being the GM and has for a long time, and they haven't won anything of significance in ages. I don't know if that's going to change.
Well, they were pretty close to winning a couple of years ago, and what I thought was a very bad call on Des Bryant.
I'll go along with that.
They should have gone further. From being solid at position by position, I think the Cowboys have the best team right out of this foursome.
And they are the favorite.
Their
total is 9. We're going on over and under win totals. This is interesting. The only team that's plus 500 on the over and under win totals is Dallas at 9. The other 3 teams are all locked at 7.5. This is a division where you get to do your handicapping and make your opinion known, because one or two of those numbers is going to end up being soft when we look back at the conclusion of the season.
I'll give you a play right now out of these 4 teams. I'll just throw it out there. The Eagles at 7.5 will not win 8 games. Will not. They may not win 5.
That's a free play.
That's a free
from
play.
Jim Feist.
Yes.
If you want to get free plays every day on a recorded message from Jim, myself, our Vegas expert team, it's very easy to do. Call toll free. And this is on a recorded message, so you don't even have to wait for someone to pick up the phone. 888-478-9222.
Also at ProLineTV.com, click the subscribe button and get notifications on new videos. Plus, you'll be sent a code to get 7 days of my service absolutely free. ProLineTV.com.
And that is going to do it for this edition. Thanks for joining us. We will see you again next week with another edition of ProLine.